Welcome to BrainTease TV. Today we're going to be installing a auto side mirror closing module to a 2013 Toyota Prius. So this is before the install. So let's get into it and see how we get on. So now that you've got the door panel off, you need to access the back of the panel that you can see on your screen. This is where you find the mirror switch for the button that you use to operate the side mirrors. So what you're looking for two main wires. In this case, it's a black and pink wire. So the purpose of these wires is to send a 12-volt signal to the mirror motors whenever you push the button to open and close the mirror. So you're going to have to actually cut these wires. But to find the wires, what I did was use this tester. It's got a pointed tip, so I could actually pierce into the wire to test it. I just used the clamps on the ground. I just found the ground somewhere on the vehicle. I just use a point to actually test the wires. So it's really simple to test. All you need to do is make sure the tester is grounded, and then whatever wire you think it might be, you just pierce into it with the tester and operate the button for the mirror. So if you open it and then you read 12 volts, you know that's the wire. If you close it and the wire that receives the 12 volt, you close it, that's the two wires. So those wires need to be cut, because you're going to be intercepting these wires with wires from the module. So I'm going to pop that on your screen now in terms of the wiring diagram, which I had to create. I recreated this diagram because the one that got supplied with the module was very clear. So I tried to recreate it for you guys so you can actually see it a bit clearer. So after you cut the wires, you need to connect them according to the wiring diagram. Connect the module according to the wiring diagram. Make sure you have something like heat shrink on the wires before you connect them, so you can just use a lighter and heat shrink them. Then you're also going to need to find 12 volt live constant 12 volt, an accessory. You can see this yellow wire I have here. I just found an accessory wire, which means whenever the vehicle is on, it reads 12 volts. So you need to connect to that, and I found one on the back of the switch. So I heat shrink the wires, make sure that they're properly isolated, and then I move to the door panel, where I need to connect the blue wire from the module and the orange module the blue and the green module from the blue and green wire from the module. And on the door, what you're looking for, the 12 volt signal whenever you open the door, and the 12 volt signal when you close the door. So there are two wires you need to find and tap into those. Just follow the wiring diagram. Then you need to think about, actually it's a good idea to think about where you're going to be placing the module before you start to join wires. In my case, I had to add an extension to the door signal wires by removing the trunking you can see here to get to the wire from the inside to the door panels. A bit of a hassle, but the wires are relatively short. I suppose you could find those door signal wires perhaps somewhere under the dashboard. It was just easier to find it from the door itself, which is why I did it this way. All I did was just remove 2 screws so I could get to the wires that leads from inside the car to the door, and I just passed 2 wires through there, connected to the door signal wires, and then connected to the module, and that kind of solved that problem. It wasn't really an issue, but I wish I had longer wires, because then I wouldn't have to get separate wires to do that. So you may have to think about doing that. Or perhaps you can find those door signal wires that's situated somewhere underneath your dashboard. Then the next thing you do, you try to secure the module, find somewhere decent to secure any loose wires, and perhaps test it before you start buttoning everything up. And that should be it. As you can see, it's all done and it's all working, so please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.